Aloha everyone, I'm Soraya Lutronel. I'm one of the top real estate agents right here in Kailua Kona, and I help local sellers get the top or best offers for their properties. I also help people like you who are watching this channel relocate to the Big Island, Kailua Kona as well specifically. I also help investors find short-term vacation rentals and investments as well as luxury homes. Those are my expertise. So today we're going to talk about the hottest real estate opportunities right here that happened in 2024 and specifically quarter number 4, so like right now, and things that you should look into if you're thinking about buying or purchasing a property or relocating to the Big Island in 2025. This video specifically is about Kailua Kona. I'm going to talk about different neighborhoods, different investments that would be great to do for 2025. So let's get right into it. So there are 5 areas that I'm going to talk about today in Kailua Kona. One of them is Palisades. Palisades is one of the hottest neighborhoods right now that you should invest into. The reason why people love Palisades is because you have beautiful ocean views most of the time. There's so many homes for sale in that neighborhood along the entire hill. So there's a lot of choices. If you're thinking, oh, well, the inventory is kind of low because I'm looking right in downtown Kona or in the Kona area. If you're looking just a little bit outside of that, Palisades has a ton of inventory. There's different price points and different finishings. So you can find homes that are on the cheaper end, in the 700s, all the way to homes that are a little bit nicer, more luxurious, more size, like bigger lot sizes, more ocean views, better finishings. Those will be in the 1.6, 1.7 million. So there's quite a bit of range there as well. One of the reasons why some people might not like Palisades is because there are so many people. It feels like a proper suburban neighborhood that you would have in a mainland city. There's a lot of neighbors, not as much privacy as you would have in other neighborhoods. The lots, most of the lots are in the 10,000. There are some in the 7,000, and there are some that go all the way up to an acre or more. So it really is all about your budget, what you're able to afford, but there's a lot of variety in that area. The second area that I think is hottest for 2024 is Holualoa. Holualoa has always been a very popular area, and I had asked, questions like, why is it so popular? I don't really understand. It feels like it's right in Kona when I'm looking at the map. And Holualoa is completely different. Holualoa has a very charming vibe. It's very old Hawaii. It's very jungly. It's very green. It's also hard to get to because there's only one main road that goes through it, which is the upper road. And then you have to take little roads that go up and down the Hualalai. So it's very different. Holualoa is also known for all of the coffee farms in Kona. So when you think of a proper coffee farm that's very famous, most of the time it's going to be in Holualoa on that hill. The prices though vary quite a bit because you can have small little Hawaii shacks from the 30s all the way to very luxurious homes that can be 5,000 to 7,000 square foot with tons of acreage, beautiful views of the ocean. Another reason why people really like Holualoa is because it's much cooler, because it's a higher elevation. And in Holualoa, there's lots of pockets of different neighborhoods that may be high-end neighborhoods or neighborhoods that don't have any CCNRs, that don't have an HOA, kind of a free-for-all. And so there's definitely a huge variety in price point, but if I were to say this is one of the hottest neighborhoods, definitely Holualoa is one of them. Price point wise, it varies quite a bit. You can probably go in the 1 million, but those homes will be gone like that, in a couple of days, all the way to multi-million-dollar homes that can vary all the way to 7-8 million in that range because they're much bigger lots, much prettier. Another hottest area for Kailua Kona is of course downtown Kona. Downtown Kona is mostly condos. So if you're looking at single family homes and you can't really find anything, because there aren't any. Downtown Kona is mostly condos, and it varies between condos that can do short-term vacation rentals and condos that cannot. And so that's why when you're looking at the price points in downtown Kona, there's such a huge variety in price point, even though the square footage, the amount of bedrooms and bathrooms are the same. It's all about the functionality and what you can use this condo for. It varies quite a bit because some of them can be businesses that generate income versus others are just for residential, or in this case condo living, and you can't really use it as an Airbnb business. So people love downtown Kona because you can walk everywhere. You can walk to the pier, all the restaurants, bars, shopping, local gift shops, everything is right downtown. A lot of the hotels are located in that area because you can walk everywhere. There are small little beaches, like the Kona Pier is one of them that's right across from the Marriott. Holmes Beach is a tiny one, that's where boogie boarding was invented. And then Magic Sands, like little things like that. But they're really small white sand beaches. They're not like the big ones that you would think of or see in pictures like Hapuna and things like that. From those restaurants or from your condo, you may be able to see, if you have an ocean view, you'll probably see whales, dolphins. If you're really close to downtown, maybe triathletes doing the Ironman. So that's why people really like the downtown, because it has such a vacation vibe when you go there. Yet there's lots of people that live there full time. So when you go and you walk down Ali'i Drive or run down there, you probably will start to see very familiar faces because a lot of people live there and do that every day. When you're looking at single family homes, there is an area that I would call Kona proper. Kona proper to me is the equivalent of downtown, but it is for single family homes. And to me, Kona proper is up and down Lako Street in that area. This is where you would find single family homes. In lower Lako, typically you're able to have a 1-bedroom, 1-bath downstairs that you can rent out, whether it's completely secluded from the home or not, kind of depends on what the owner did. But most of the time there is an area that you would be able to do a hosted rental if you needed that income. The price point for lower Lako is typically between 1 million to 1.7, right in there. You get more bang for your buck in that neighborhood because the square footage is higher. The homes are a little bit older, that's why they're cheaper. You typically have an ocean view as well. So you have a really nice neighborhood, you have a nice location where you can get anywhere within 15 to 20 minutes, and you have direct access to Ali'i Drive and the Queen K from there. So that's why a lot of people like this location, because it's very central. And it also has large sidewalks, so if you have kids or if you have dogs that you walk every day, this is a nice neighborhood where you can do that. They also typically have pretty nice sized lots that vary between 10 to 12,000 all the way to about half an acre, some of them. But it is really nice because you have beautiful views of the ocean. Now, Upper Lako is Kona Vistas and Iolani. Those are nicer because they're typically like newer construction. They have more strict restrictions on how to build your home, how protected is the view, what kind of trees are you allowed to have, where are you allowed to have them, how tall the trees can get, things like that. So because of those restrictions, the value of the properties over there have greatly appreciated over the years. And so they are a great investment if you're looking into relocating to Kona specifically. Another area that I would call Kona proper is Pualani Estates. Naini Kailua area is Kona proper in my mind. Ali'i Heights, the area around Magic Sands, that's Kona proper. You have quite a bit of variety. Now there's little pockets in different neighborhoods around Kona proper. And so depending on your budget, what you're looking for in terms of view, square footage, location, we can definitely find you something. But typically the price points in Kona proper, the lowest end homes are probably in the 950,000. And they typically don't have an ocean view. They have a smaller yard, but most of them are typically a little bit newer, but they're much smaller. You can also find newer construction if you're looking into newer construction in Kona proper, and that's going to be in Royal Ali'i, or Ali'i Cottages is another one where you can find newer homes from a newer development. Now the lots over there are 3,000 to 5,000 square feet, so much different than the other ones. Another area that is, in my opinion, one of the hottest in Kailua Kailua Kona is Keauhou. People love Keauhou because Keauhou is a little bit more country. It's a little bit more secluded. It's quieter because it doesn't have a lot of the traffic and the foot traffic as well that comes with living in Kona proper or downtown Kona or Palisades. Palisades has a lot of traffic as well. So Keauhou is a little bit more secluded. It has more resort living type condominiums. So if you're looking at a condo that feels more like a resort, that's gated with multiple pools, tennis, right along the coastline, typically that will be in Keauhou. Another thing about Keauhou is it does have a few single family homes that aren't part of a CCNR or HOA or anything like that, but it also has other homes and luxury homes that are more secluded, that have security 24/7, that are gated. They also have beautiful views of the Keauhou Bay, which is where you can see boats take off every day. There's also the manta ray tours every night that are around there. If you're into golfing, that's also in Keauhou. That's at the Kona Country Club. It's very inexpensive if you're local, but it also is a beautiful course with beautiful views as well. They do have a restaurant, so you can go and watch the sunset over there. It's quite great. But Keauhou is more of a slower pace, almost like a vibe of Holualoa because it's more charming, it's more green, it feels more like Hawaii, but it also has the ocean that's right there. So you're able to go to farmers market. If you like canoeing or paddling every day, you can do that in Keauhou. So that's why a lot of people like living in Keauhou, because it has a very central, easy, no traffic location, but it also has all of the amenities. If you need anything, you can get it over there. Price point wise, it is more expensive than Kona proper because it is nicer and a little bit more chill. So the homes in Bayview Estates and Keauhou Estates will vary between, I think the lowest price point homes I've seen were in the 2.5 million, but really they're mostly in the 3 million is where they start. They can go all the way up to 5 to 6 million in those neighborhoods. You're looking at condos. Condos in Keauhou start typically around $750 for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath without an ocean view or garden view. And then it can go all the way up to 1.7 million. And those will be either oceanfront 2 bedrooms, or they will be bigger condos. So like 3-bedroom, 3 baths, around 1,700 square feet. And most of the condos in Keauhou have the capability to do short-term vacation rentals. There are specific complexes in Keauhou. There are 55-plex condos, which are beautiful as well, very well redone. Some of them even are townhomes, so you can have a little garage where you put your car and then you go up into your townhome. So it kind of depends on what you're looking for, but we can certainly find what you're interested in. But it's definitely in high demand, one of the hottest areas. So some of the hot opportunities that are going on right now, I would say if you have a home or you're looking at any houses between 1.1 to 1.3 million, this is the hottest price point right now because it is the highest value. When you're looking at properties that are under $1 million, most of the time they're older, they're a little overpriced in terms of dollar per square foot. They're gonna need some type of sweat equity or money spent into them. So that's why a lot of buyers, when they look at houses under 1 million, they don't see that much value, or they're kind of let down in the amount of square footage that's in there. So most of the buyers who are looking in that price point, that actually purchase in that price point, typically it's an entry-level home, it's their first home, it's all they can afford because that's how much it costs to purchase the home right here in Hawaii. If you're looking in the next price bracket, which is 1.1 to 1.3, that's where you get more value buys, where you have a choice between getting an ocean view or more square footage, or a fully redone home that's brand new. That's kind of the price point where you have to decide what's most important to you, and then we'll find a home that fits exactly what your needs are. It is very in demand and hot right now because the inventory in this price point is accurately priced. Because we have seen properties that have been sitting on the market in the past, a lot of sellers are more careful now when they're pricing their home to make sure that they're priced accurately and are not asking too much. Because when they ask too much, then their property sits on the market for months at a time. So this is why it's one of the hottest price points right now. because they're priced accurately and the buyers understand that. And so when they see a value buy that's priced accurately, it's the right square footage, fits exactly what they need, they pounce on it. And so I can tell you, I have a client right now, it's a lovely couple, but they came here to look at properties, and most of the properties that were priced accurately had multiple offers. And that's kind of where we're at. We're seeing that sellers are able to price the homes accurately, and the buyers recognize that. So they're putting in offers, and we're seeing that a lot more than we were seeing before. The second hot opportunity right now is 2-bedroom condos. With 2-bedroom condos without an STVR permit. So 2-bedroom condos without an STVR permit right now are really hot, and they're a great buy because there's a huge inventory of them. A lot of the owners were worried about the insurance and the special assessments that were being applied to their condo, where in some communities they have to come up with $19,000 to $30,000 extra to pay for the renovations that have to happen in their condo in order to keep the insurance low. Or some of them, they just were not happy with an extra $2,500 a year to pay for the insurance. And so they would rather just sell. And another reason why sellers are selling in that little bracket, which is a 2-bedroom non-STVR, is because some of the sellers are seeing what their neighbors sold for, which is quite a high number, and they're thinking, okay, well, if I can get that number, I'm gonna sell and I can just move elsewhere or buy a house with the proceeds that I'm getting. You know, they're seeing the incentive is there for them to sell at this price point. And some of them are a little worried that they missed, the height of the market. So if you're a buyer in that exact category, this is a great time to come in because there's quite a large inventory. There isn't a race to the bottom yet, but it's a great opportunity for you to get a lot of concessions. So closing cost credit, get a certain percentage off of the listing price, ask for things to be fixed before closing. Now, everything is within reason, right? The seller still has to agree to all of those things. But if you are a buyer, this may be the great time for you. The other market that's one of the hottest market is luxury homes that are between 2.5 million and 4 million. The reason why those homes are so well priced or are a great opportunity for buyers is because of the same reason as the $1.1 to $1.3 million bracket. The sellers in that price point are realizing that homes are sitting if they're overpriced, and they don't want that to happen. They don't want their home to feel like a dull, uninteresting home. So what they're doing is they're pricing them accurately so that they sell, maybe even a little bit under what the market value is, in order to drive more interest and more offers faster. And so it's a great time if you're a luxury buyer in this price point because the sellers have accurate expectations as far as selling their property for top dollar, but also they understand how much their home is actually worth and what they should be selling at, versus before they would list the price of the home a little bit over the market value, and then they would sell with some concessions but within a good amount of time. But right now what we're saying is if you do that, your home is just going to sit on the market for 6 months. So what they're doing is they're actually pricing it correctly and they are selling much faster. So if you're a buyer in this price point, this is a great time to come in for that. The inventory also in this price point has been lower than it's used to being. And I think one of the reasons for that is because they are pricing those homes so accurately, therefore buyers are putting in offers right away versus the home sitting on the market longer. Another thing that we've noticed too is that in this price point, we do have some private new development. So individual owners that are building homes in some high-end neighborhoods or in price points that fit exactly like in the 2.5 to 4 million bracket. And those homes are hitting the market right now because they started 2-3 years ago. And so this is great for buyers because you're seeing more opportunity for new builds in order for you to move to the Big Island versus buying older homes that have been renovated. So what are some tips for buyers looking to buy in the Kona market right now? The number one tip that always applies is make sure that you have your finances in order. It's very important right now in today's market to have a pre-approval, pre-qual, proof of funds, things like that. Because like I said, the sellers are pricing their homes accurately right now. They're not asking for crazy numbers. And so what we want to do is when we see a property that's priced accurately, that's market value, and you put in an offer, you have to be able to prove that you can actually pay for this house within 24 hours or with the offer. That's what the sellers are expecting, because they do not want to fall out of escrow, go back on the market with longer days on market, and then have to explain that to the next buyer, because the buyer doesn't know the backstory. They just see that the days on market have been longer, and then they start to wonder, okay, is something wrong with this house? What happened? You know, that type of stuff. And so if you're a buyer, you definitely want to make sure that you have all your finances ready, so that when you do put in an offer, it will be considered versus completely just shut down because they don't know if you truly can afford it. The second thing that you definitely want to do is you do want to get a real estate agent who's very knowledgeable about the market, the inventory, but also knows how to negotiate terms in an offer. The reason why I say this is because that home that we put under contract this week had 3 different offers, and the only reason why they picked our offer over the others is because they liked the terms of the offer better. All the price points of all the offers were exactly the same. The only difference were the terms. And so that's why you want to get a real estate agent who's very knowledgeable, who can understand the incentives of a seller and write an offer that represents that, but also represents the buyer and protects them in ways that are necessary. And so it's very important that you get a good realtor when you're looking for a home, like me. Okay. Another thing that you need to do, so third thing, is you have to make sure that you know exactly what you're looking for, because the right price homes are like deals, right? Buyers are always looking for deals. If you don't know what you're looking for, you're gonna pass by deals and only realize afterwards. After you've been shopping and you were indecisive, you didn't know exactly what you wanted. So that's when you will start to regret not putting offers on homes that you saw maybe 3 months ago or like last week. So one of the things that I highly recommend all of my buyers is that we do a buyer's consultation. It doesn't take that long. All it is we talk about the daily lifestyle. So when you think about your life right here in Hawaii, what does that look like? What do you do every day? Where do you go? What are your hobbies? Things like that. Because we want to make sure that we're considering all the areas and all the neighborhoods that fit that lifestyle that you're envisioning that would be perfect for you. Another thing that we talk about in the buyer consultation is how ready are you to purchase a property? Are we looking 6 months ahead? Are we looking a year from now? Or are we looking in the next 3 to 6 months? Because if you're looking in the next 3 to 6 months, we have to be a little bit more strategic and more focused on exactly the neighborhoods that you're interested in and being able to respond to new listings right away so that you can get the home that you're looking for. If you're looking in the next 6 to 12 months, then maybe we can talk about the different neighborhoods instead of talking about the house specifically. That way we can talk about your lifestyle, whether or not we should be looking in those areas or not, if that makes sense. And how to get you ready, so if you have to sell a home on the mainland, that you can use those funds or those strategies that you can do while you're getting ready to sell your home if you want to already have a home in Hawaii. All right, well, I hope this was really helpful. One thing that you can do to help us is subscribe to the channel. Another thing, if you're looking for more resources about the Big Island, living in Hawaii, or purchasing or selling in Hawaii, check out my channel. I have a lot more videos that talk about that, and I hope to see you on the next one. Aloha!